Hey friends, welcome to Creative X. My name is Brad Hussey, your friendly neighborhood web designer. This is video number 3 in our AI-powered web designer series. Video number 1 was all about finding a client, landing a client, using AI to help augment that entire process, know what to say, come up with a good offer. That was fun. Video number 2 was all about coming up with a full-fledged copy deck, everything from sitemaps to content for each of the pages, and using AI in an ethical way, plagiarism-free, authentic, original, that doesn't sound like a robot created it. That was a great video as well. And in this one, we're gonna be using AI to come up and help us with the creative aspect, the design aspect, mood boards, creative direction, brand direction, maybe some logos, and even some mock-ups so we can use as a starting point for our deli-themed website for Tony the deli guy. But there's a twist. This video doesn't quite go the direction I thought it would go when I started it. So if you're ready to do this, let's rock and roll. All right, so the first thing we really have to do is come up with some concepts, some branding, some direction, maybe a bit of a mood board. You know, we're kind of at the early stages of this project, so we need to come up with something that the client's going to be happy with. And of course, we're going to be using AI to help augment the process. So normally what you might do in this is say, okay, we talk to the client, they want black and white color scheme, blue accents, they want vintage style imagery, maybe some deli, butcher paper and textures and old fashioned photographs to show the history and the tradition. And so what you do is you maybe go to a website like Unsplash, and then maybe you start typing things like delicatessen. So what we might do is we might grab some images, maybe some black and white images if we could find something that looks a little old school. So this is Cat's Deli. This is something that the client, Tony, said he liked. So maybe we take this image and we copy this image and we bring it over to our Notion board. Maybe we paste it in. And so here we're starting to compile what could be the beginning and early stages of our creative direction, but let's use some AI to see what we can do. I'm gonna head over to our Midjourney, and one thing we could do is go straight to the Explore section in Midjourney. Then we'll go to the community feed and maybe type something in that you wanna see. So let's go deli. This looks like a photorealistic painting of a deli counter, sliced deli meat, cheese, bread. Okay, so that's cool. Maybe what I might wanna do is copy this prompt. I could just do it straight from here, and I can copy the full command or the prompt, and I could use this for some inspiration. I could download the photo, add it to Discord as an image to use as part of the prompt, and we'll get into that. So let's maybe go ahead and, I don't know, we'll take this image that was already created, throw this in our mood board as well. So this is somebody else's AI generated imagery here. So let's create our own. I'm gonna go to Discord, and with Midjourney, you have to use Discord. And here under adjust your settings, we got Midjourney version 1, 2, 3, 4, and here it is 5. You might have it already on version 4. Click version 5 and it will turn that on so that it's always using the suffix version 5. You don't have to type it anymore. So maybe you might even want to use AI like ChatGPT or whatever to come up with a prompt. Give it some keywords and say, write a prompt that I could share with my graphic designer. And I'm gonna go over to my ChatGPT and say, write a detailed artistic prompt based on this. Imagine you're standing in a bustling deli surrounded by sights, smells, sounds of freshly sliced meats and cheeses in front of you. Okay, this is getting too long. It's writing a full story. I don't think that's what Midjourney wants. Let's stop generating and say, no, write a short 2-sentence prompt. Imagine a classic deli counter filled with freshly sliced meats, cheeses, and sandwiches. Create a photorealistic scene that captures the tradition and charm of this timeless setting. So I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to go over here and try this again. Imagine classic deli counter. Okay, so now I can change the settings here to use half quality, high quality, style medium, style high. I'm gonna choose style high. This is incredible. Like I'm loving number 3, number 4. I'm gonna take this image, I'm gonna copy the image, I'm gonna go here into my mood board and I'm gonna paste that in because I'm gonna show this to Tony and I think Tony's gonna dig it. Now, obviously you might think, well, this isn't Tony the deli guy's shop. What if you had a real client called Tony the deli guy? You can't just like Midjourney a fake image of his shop? Well, no, of course not. I go to his shop, take a camera, hire a photographer, and we get some professional imagery and capture the style. What this is doing is capturing the style. So maybe Tony's got, you know, a shop that looks like this. So we want to capture maybe a little more vintage, a vintage style. Maybe we use a filter on the camera. Maybe we use certain lighting. Maybe we take pictures at a certain time of day. You know, we make it look a certain way. We design and edit the photo a certain way. So AI art here is merely helping me create creative direction. So this is starting to come together. If I share this with Tony, he starts to get a vibe. He's like, yeah, you know what? I'm liking this. This is what I want. This is what I'm going for. And then we've got everything here from his sitemap that we used AI to help generate. We got approval from Tony with the copy. We got his Q&A here. We've got the copy deck, the whole site from home to the story to the menu, the items on the menu. We've got catering, we've got location, classes, store with all the products. It's all here, AI generated. And we've got a first kind of idea pass of our basic mood board. Now what I might do is I might bring in some textures, some colors, you know, some different fonts that I might want to use. And so that's how I might use AI to help augment the creative exploration phase of the mood board, you know, stage, coming up with like just throwing stuff up on the wall, the digital wall, using AI to help augment that creative process. It's a ton of fun. All right, so now that we got a little bit of a creative direction, maybe we can see if we can prompt Midjourney to come up with a logo. I don't know if it's gonna, you know, do exactly what it is we're looking for. Midjourney's not so good at logos, but we're gonna try it. And what I'm gonna do is actually head over to the Midjourney feed and see what people do for logos in terms of prompting. And then we are gonna borrow and copy some of those prompts to see. That captures a bit of the old vintage tradition with, you know, something more modern. Bring it forward a little bit, because that's what Tony wanted. He said, you know, I'm old fashioned, I'm traditional, you know, I've been around the block, but I get people use the internet. So let's use the internet. So let's see, we got a logo design for vector line illustration, flat design, black and white. Okay, we're gonna copy a little bit of that and let's see what happens. We're gonna say, imagine logo for, I'm just gonna say a deli. There's both classic and playful, vintage style elements, mix of colors, textures to capture the brand's warmth and authenticity. And let's say vector line illustration and not black and white. Let's see what happens. All right, and here we go. This was cool. I didn't really see this coming. Like I kind of like it. There's something about this direction that it went that I think I can run with. I feel like Tony would be cool with this. Now, here's the thing is maybe your client already has a long established brand, like 70 years running. Tony probably already has a brand established, a recognized logo mark. We probably don't want to touch it. We just want to incorporate it. That's what we would do here. But let's pretend he doesn't have one, or it just was just text that said Tony the Deli Guy. Maybe we can incorporate some sort of visual imagery that captures his style, his brand of the shop, with the simplicity of just Tony the Deli Guy. People just know it. The name speaks for itself, but we want a little bit of something to, you know, draw it in. I'm actually gonna save this image. I like it. And I'm gonna put this image in my board here. This is gonna be the logo. Now what I would do with this is I would take this and I would add it to Photoshop or Figma, probably Photoshop, and take the text out, and this text would probably say Tony, and this would say Deli Guy, you know, or like Tony here, Deli Guy, or just Tony. Everyone knows Tony and his buggy car. Probably everybody knows. So that's what we would use. Put this in a circle. I think that would make for a good logo. All right, so at this point, we want to create some product images to use in our mockups. And now, again, I want to say here, if you're working with a client, you're probably not going to use AI to generate images for their products. You could just go to their location, bring a photographer, and shoot some professional images of their products and get some good shots for their e-commerce section of their site. But in this case, what I'm doing here is again for more illustrative purposes, but you can use AI to create different images and graphics that help augment the brand. Maybe you're just not using the actual product images that you could just go and photograph yourself. So just wanted to put that out there. So with that said, I'm gonna go ahead and start creating some product images for the e-commerce part of the site. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 products. Nice and simple. We've got the description and the price for each. So maybe what I might do is I might use some of these descriptions in some way to help create some sort of generative AI image using Midjourney. So let's try it. And that gives us our full list of product imagery, our spices, our deli apron, our takeaway box, our black and white funky mugs, and our deli meat cookbook. So that's cool. I mean, if you were just to look at this, most wouldn't know that this is AI generated, which is pretty awesome. All right, so I'm pleased with these images. I like it. And what we got to do now is start coming up with some mockups. So the first thing I'm going to do is actually just look in the Midjourney community feed to see if people have come up with some mockups for deli sites. Some of these are a little strange as usual, but some are mockups within mockups. Some of them are classy. This is very, very disturbing. Ooh, this one works. Normal landing page for a shop store. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a look actually at Katz's Delicatessen, because in our research, Tony said, I'm starting to believe Tony's real. Like, I'm talking about Tony like he's a real deal. So Tony told me that he liked Katz's Delicatessen. Now, when I look at this, like, I'm not taken away, blown away by this website. Like, it's just a website. It's kind of trying to fit a lot in there, maybe a little bit too much. But you know, it is what it is. So they like, you know, Tony likes what's going on here, maybe because Katz is classic or something. And so he's just looking up to Katz's Delicatessen. Maybe they're buddies. So we just look here, and maybe what I might do is like go to top sellers, Katz's birthday box. Ooh, I like this one right here, our story. So let's go back. And I'm gonna take a screenshot of the Our Story slide. Okay, now I'm gonna head over to Midjourney Discord, and I'm going to add that image in here. Then I'm going to just send that as a message. It's gonna give me the option to copy the URL of this screenshot, copy link. Now what I can do is I can paste the URL for that image, and then say, a website for a delicatessen featuring black and white images of the family and staff, deli meats, sandwiches, black and white theme, blue accent, UX, UI. I don't know if this is going to work. Let's just see what happens. I'm thinking it's not too bad on the first go here. I mean, it's not something I'd show the client right away, but it's got, you know, a big hero image, red. Maybe I would change that to blue, change the logo, the navigation out. You know, this is a starting point. Remember, landing page for a shop store website. Let's try something like this and we'll change it up. Imagine normal landing page for a deli shop store website, UI, UX, website, black and white, deli meat, sandwiches. Let's see. I think the black and white, it's taken it a little bit too literal. And look, I've got this nightmare moldy bread that's just like fully white and gray. Oh man, that did not turn out. Imagine deli restaurant website. It's the shortest prompt I've ever wrote in Midjourney. I don't know if it's going to work. Not bad. Not great. I'm going to try something. In my settings, I'm going to go down to Midjourney 4. gonna take this image and I'm gonna put it in Discord. I'm gonna get its URL and I'm gonna use that as a part of the prompt. Now with Midjourney 4, maybe we might be able to get something good. Or maybe we can't. Maybe we will fail to be able to use Midjourney in an efficient amount of time. And I really should get to the point where I should just go the traditional route. And this video might take a turn. We'll see. Paste that link in from that image and say website landing page for a deli shop. UX, UI, website, modern, clean, and let's see. So I see what it's done here. It kind of went lazy on me, and it basically just took the image that I gave it. It put a big image, little text on the top for maybe a logo, and in 2 or 3 instances here, a little bit of text in the footer. But in terms of an actual website mock-up, complete utter failure. Now, I'm gonna try one more thing here and not go this direction for a deli shop, because the reality is I don't need it to make a deli shop website for me. I just need a nice layout that can work for me to then start designing using the imagery and the style and the mood boards and branding that we've already established, in this case using AI to help us out. So I'm going to try something. In my settings, I want my style to be high, and I want the base quality to be higher. In fact, I'm going to actually style very high. Midjourney version 4. And I'm going to take one more look for websites. Let's say restaurant, takeout restaurant website. And let's just see if somebody's done something great. I kind of feel like, oh, this style could work for me. Style could work for me as well. Even this one, even though it's a pizza, weird pizza pasta. Let's just go website layout. Website layout, food. Here we go. Nope. Let's try bright. I don't even know if this is working. Minimal website layout. We're going real basic here. Simple website layout. Okay, we're gonna try something like this. Copy this. And I'm going to imagine restaurant website, hero section, layout, website, UI, UX, clean, minimal, detailed, neutral tones. And after this, if we're not getting a decent result, I would personally consider this part of the experiment a failure. And that's okay, because at least we learned something. What did we learn? I think that AI, as you can see in the previous sections of this video, have been really helpful and mind-blowing. And I've even done videos here on this channel where we have the website, the layout, the design actually turn out pretty well, and then we use it as a starting point. So let's see what we have here. Now, I'm not impressed. I'm not. Like, I wouldn't take any of these, pop them into Figma as a reference point and start laying things out, start designing. I wouldn't. It's just, there's nothing here that, like, it's just showing me good images, kind of on a grid. It's not what I'm not happy with it. If I was doing this in a professional real world scenario, I would have cut and run earlier and went a more traditional route. Now, thankfully, what I'm going to be doing actually is moving over into Editor X in our next video and using what we've built so far. We've got all the copy, we've got the mood board, we've got the style, we've got the logo vibe, sitemap, questions and answers, copy deck. I mean, it's all here from product descriptions. We even got nice product imagery that we used AI to help come up with. Unfortunately, we couldn't come up with a nice mock-up. Now, all is not lost. Like I said, in our next video, we're gonna be firing up Editor X with everything that we have here, and we're gonna be using a starting point like a template to start creating our site. And it's gonna be e-commerce powered. It's gonna be minimal, black and white. It's gonna have that imagery, that black and white family imagery, that style that Tony said he wanted. We're gonna be using our product images, our mood board, and all of that, all within Editor X. And that's coming up in the next video. If you like this series, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of the upcoming videos on the channel. And I'm going to invite you as well to join us in the Creative X crew, where we further our discussion about web design, Editor X, and building a creative business in light of AI and the crazy world of technology that surrounds us. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.